Welcome back my YouTube channel Old Coin Z Collection. Today we dive into an incredible and rare coin from South Africa that's been making waves in the numismatic world. This isn't just any ordinary 5-cent coin from 2008. It has become one of the most sought-after pieces on the market, with some estimates placing its value at a jaw-dropping $4 million. But how could a small, seemingly insignificant coin carry such value? Stick with me for the next 20 minutes as we uncover the history, rarity, and the story behind this mysterious 5-cent coin. Let's start with the basics. The 5-cent coin was a part of South Africa's currency system for many years, and it was produced in various designs. The 2008 coin, like other years, was issued as part of the regular circulation coins used in South Africa. Made from copper-plated steel, the 5-cent coin is small, circular, and features various symbols of South Africa's national identity. In terms of size and weight, it's a standard 5-cent piece, with a simple design featuring the South African coat of arms on the obverse and a denomination of 5 cents on the reverse side. However, not all 5-cent coins are created equal. Let's dive into what sets this 2008 version apart, and why it's now considered one of the rarest coins in circulation. Why is this specific 5-cent 2008 coin valued at millions of dollars? Well, it all starts with rarity. The story goes that there was a misprint or minting error in a very small batch of these coins in 2008, which led to some unique features not found in standard coins. It's believed that this batch of 5-cent coins was mistakenly minted with the wrong metal composition or incorrect engraving. Due to these errors, only a handful of these misprinted coins ever made it into circulation. The exact number is still debated, but some numismatists believe fewer than 10 of these coins are in existence today. And with a very limited supply, the value of these coins skyrocketed. Now, let's talk about how to identify this rare coin. If you're lucky enough to stumble upon a 2008 5-cent coin, you'll need to know how to authenticate it. The first thing to check is the mint mark and the design detail. The misprinted version will have certain imperfections that are not visible in the regular 2008 5-cent pieces. You should also consider the weight and the composition of the coin. The original 2008 5-cent pieces are copper-plated steel, but the rare error coins could be made of a different material, and even the weight may slightly vary from the standard. When you examine the coin under magnification, pay attention to the engravings around the edge, as these could also reveal whether it's part of that rare batch. If you think you might have one of these rare coins, it's important to get it authenticated by a professional coin grading service like NGC or PCGS. A certified coin could fetch a fortune at auction or among collectors. Let's talk about how valuable these coins can be. Some of these rare 2008 5-cent coins have been sold at auction for eye-popping amounts. The coin I mentioned earlier, with an estimated value of $4 million, was sold to a private collector in an exclusive auction, with bids coming from around the world. In fact, the rarity of this coin has attracted collectors from every corner of the globe, all eager to own a piece of South African history. The market for rare coins has been expanding rapidly in recent years, and while many coins may seem like small change, some are worth more than gold. At one point, this specific coin was sold for over $3 million at an auction, making it one of the highest-selling rare South African coins in modern history. Now, let's take a step back and explore the fascinating world of numismatics, the study and collection of coins. Coin collecting is not just about finding rare pieces. It's a hobby that connects people with history, art, and culture. Whether you're an experienced collector or just getting started, the thrill of finding something rare is what drives so many to invest their time and money into this hobby. If you're interested in starting your own coin collection, or even just want to know more about this rare 5-cent coin, there are plenty of resources available. From online coin forums to local coin shops and conventions, there's a whole community out there to help you learn more and connect with others who share the same passion. One thing that every serious coin collector knows is the importance of preserving the condition of a coin. A small scratch or smudge can dramatically decrease the value of a coin, especially one as rare as this 2008 5-cent. So, let me share a few tips on how to take care of your coins. First, always handle coins by the edges, not the faces, to avoid getting oils and dirt from your fingers on the coin. Use gloves made for coin handling. You should also store your coins in proper holders or capsules, especially if they're rare and valuable. Make sure the holders are made from acid-free materials, as some plastics can cause the coin to tarnish over time. As we look toward the future of rare coins, it's clear that the market for valuable and rare coins will continue to grow. With the rise of online auctions and the global nature of numismatics, coins like the 2008 5-cent South African coin will continue to be highly sought after. But as with all investments, the key to success in coin collecting is knowledge and patience. So, whether you're buying, selling, or just collecting story top 2, the coin 2008 South African 20-cent coin, worth an eye-popping $16 million. That's right, $16 million. Now, I know what you're thinking. How is that even possible for a coin with a face value of just 20 cents? Well, stick around, because I'm going to explain exactly why this coin is so incredibly valuable, and you'll definitely want to see the full story unfold. Let's get into it. The 2008 South African 20-cent coin was part of a series of commemorative coins released by the South African Mint. As many of you know, South Africa has a rich coinage history, with coins often featuring important national symbols, wildlife, and moments of cultural significance. The 20-cent coin, in particular, was issued as part of a regular circulation series that year, but it stands out due to a small but significant detail, one that made it highly sought after by collectors. Let me take you through its design and the features that make this coin so special. First off, let's talk about the design. On the obverse side, we have the iconic portrait of Nelson Mandela, one of South Africa's most celebrated leaders and the face of the nation's transition into democracy. The reverse features a highly detailed depiction of the springbok, the national animal of South Africa. Now, at first glance, this coin might seem like just another regular circulating coin. But here's the catch. There's something incredibly rare about one specific version of this coin. In 2008, a limited number of South African 20-cent coins were accidentally struck with an error that made them incredibly rare. This error occurred during the minting process, where certain coins were produced with a misalignment or flaw in the design, specifically with the portrait of Nelson Mandela. These error coins were not immediately recognized by the public, which is why they stayed in circulation for a while before being discovered. It wasn't until a keen-eyed collector noticed the discrepancy that word got out. And that's when things started to get crazy. Now here's where the story gets interesting. The error coin, due to its rarity and the fact that only a handful exist, became the centerpiece of heated bidding wars among coin collectors. After experts assessed its value, they estimated the worth of one of these error coins to be around $16 million. Yes, you heard that right. $16 million. This kind of value is almost unheard of for a coin with such a low face value. But when you factor in the rarity, historical significance, and the huge demand from collectors, it all makes sense. These kinds of error coins are highly prized in the numismatic world. So, what makes this error coin so valuable? Let's break it down. First and foremost, its rarity. There are only a handful of these error coins in existence. The exact number is debated, but it's definitely less than 10 known specimens. Second, the error coin carries historical weight due to the global recognition of Nelson Mandela. Owning a piece of history like this is invaluable. The misalignment or flaw in Mandela's portrait makes the coin unique. This kind of error doesn't happen often, and it only adds to the allure of the coin. And of course, there's the intense demand from collectors. The rarer the coin, the more collectors are willing to pay. This coin represents an opportunity to own a piece of rare South African history. Now let's talk about the market response. As soon as this coin started getting attention, it was a major sensation. It was auctioned off at high-profile numismatic events, and bidding wars erupted among collectors from around the world. At a T1 auction, the price shot up to an unbelievable $16 million. That auction set a new record for a coin from South Africa, and it made headlines worldwide. Experts say that this coin is an investment like no other, and its value could keep increasing as time goes on. Now, you might be wondering, how can you spot an error coin like this in your own collection? Well, it's all about being observant. Look closely at the alignment of the design, the engraving, and any potential misprints or irregularities. That it's not always easy to spot an error coin, but with the right knowledge and tools, you could discover something truly valuable in your collection. So, there you have it. A South African 20-cent coin from 2008, worth a staggering $16 million. It's a perfect example of how rarity, history, a coin that has taken the numismatic world by storm. The 50 cents 2008 South Africa coin, which is valued at an incredible $25 million. Yes, you heard that right. A simple coin from South Africa's 2008 minting is now one of the rarest and most expensive coins ever. Stay with me as we take a deep dive into this story, and I'll show you exactly how this coin got to this extraordinary value. First things first, let's look at the coin itself. The 50 cents coin from 2008 is part of South Africa's regular series of currency, issued by the South African Reserve Bank. At first glance, it might look like an ordinary piece of change, but there is so much more to it than meets the eye. Let's break it down. The obverse features the South African coat of arms, a symbol of the nation's rich history and diverse culture. The reverse shows the springbok, a national symbol of South Africa, which is known for its agility and speed. But what makes this coin so special? Let's dig deeper into the circumstances surrounding its rise in value. In 2008, South Africa was facing significant political and economic challenges, as many nations around the world were struggling with the global financial crisis. Amidst these turbulent times, the South African Mint released this coin as part of its annual coinage program. Nothing seemed extraordinary at the time, but little did anyone know that this coin would become the centerpiece of one of the most interesting numismatic stories in modern history. So what makes the 50 cents 2008 coin worth a staggering $25 million? It all comes down to an error during its minting. There was a very rare variety of this coin, where the springbok design on the reverse was slightly misaligned, and the coin was struck with a mistake that caused a unique double rim effect. This error coin was never intended to be released into circulation, but somehow, a few of these flawed coins made their way into the market, where they went unnoticed for several years. Fast forward to 2016, when a coin collector in South Africa stumbled upon a 50 cents coin that seemed just a little different. After a thorough inspection, they realized it was one of the rare misprinted coins that had slipped through the cracks. At first, the coin was thought to be a curious anomaly, but after contacting numismatic experts and conducting tests, it became clear that the coin was one of the few of its kind. As word spread about this discovery, the coin's value skyrocketed. Collectors, historians, and numismatists started clamoring to get their hands on it. But what makes this coin so valuable? It's a combination of rarity, the nature of the error, and its historical significance. When the coin hit the auction block, the bidding war quickly escalated, and within weeks, it was valued at an astonishing $25 million. Now, what makes a coin's value go from a few cents to millions? Let's look at the factors. 1. Rarity. Only a handful of these error coins exist. 2. Condition. Coins that are in pristine condition, especially those with minimal wear, are much more valuable. 3. Historical significance. This coin represents a unique period in South African history, which makes it even more sought after. Now, let's shift gears for a bit. Many of you are wondering how you can spot rare coins like this 50 cents 2008 from South Africa. While finding an error coin as valuable as this one is incredibly rare, it's not impossible. Here are some tips that could help you on your coin collecting journey. Check the design. Small variations in the design can often indicate an error coin. Inspect for misprints or misalignments. Coins with slight misalignments in their minting are highly collectible. Look for double rims, or unusual features, the 50 cents 2008 error coin had a double rim. Look for similar unusual features in your collection. The discovery of this coin didn't just make headlines in South Africa, it had a global impact. From numismatic magazines to news outlets, everyone was buzzing about the find. The coin also helped raise awareness about the fascinating world of coin collecting, bringing new enthusiasts to the hobby and inspiring people to search through their old change to see if they had any hidden gems. This brings us to another interesting aspect of the numismatic world: error coins in general. While the 50 cents 2008 South Africa coin is one of the most famous, it's not the only coin to fetch millions due to an error. For example, the 1913 Liberty Head nickel in the United States is one of the most famous error coins, and it's sold for over $4 million at auction. Similarly, the 1943 copper penny, originally minted by mistake during World War II, also fetches a high price among collectors. These coins remind us how valuable misprints and errors can be when they are as rare as they are significant. So, what does the future hold for the 50 cents 2008 South Africa coin? Will its value continue to rise, or will it plateau? Experts believe that its unique status and high demand will ensure it remains one of the most valuable coins in history for years to come. For collectors and investors, this coin represents more than just a piece of currency. It's a symbol of the power of rarity and historical significance. Thank you for sticking with me throughout this fascinating journey into the world of numismatics. The 50 cents 2008 South Africa coin is truly a one-of-a-kind treasure, and it's stories like this that make coin collecting such an exciting and rewarding hobby. Today, we're going to explore something really special: the 10 cents coin from South Africa, minted in 1994. Now, you may be thinking, why is a coin from 1994 so valuable? Well, stick around because we're about to unravel this story from its design, historical context, to its potential value in today's market. Let's get started before we even talk about the coin itself. Let's set the stage. The year 1994 was monumental for South Africa. It was the year that marked the end of apartheid, a harsh policy of racial segregation that had been in place for decades. This was also the year Nelson Mandela became South Africa's first black president, after spending 27 years in prison for his anti-apartheid activism. The country was going through a period of great transformation. New symbols of unity and progress were being created, and this coin was part of that era of change. Now let's get to the coin itself. The 10 cents coin from 1994 is part of the South African decimal currency system, which had been in use since 1961. The obverse, or front, of the coin features a majestic design of a springbok, which is South Africa's national animal. The springbok symbolizes grace, agility, and endurance, qualities that South Africans hoped would define their future after apartheid. The reverse side of the coin features the inscription 10C for 10 cents, the year 1994, and the words South Africa in both English and Afrikaans. Now let's talk a bit more about the design elements. The springbok image on the obverse was designed by the artist Coert Steinberg, who was known for his sculptures of South African wildlife. The springbok's portrayal on the 10 cents coin is a symbol of South Africa's natural beauty and its transition into a new era of freedom and unity. The reverse design, showing the denomination and year, is simple but elegant. The coin itself is made from a copper-nickel alloy, making it durable but not as heavy as some other coins in circulation. Its size is just 17.5 millimeters in diameter, so it's relatively small, but packed with history. To understand the coin's value, we need to talk about its minting. The 10 cents coin was minted in 1994 by the South African Mint. During this time, the mint was producing coins that would help symbolize the new democratic South Africa. However, the 10 cents coin was only produced in certain quantities, and as time has passed, fewer of these coins are in circulation today. Coins like these are subject to wear and tear, and many of the original coins from 1994 have been lost or damaged over time, making well-preserved examples more rare. So, What makes this coin valuable? The key to understanding the value of a coin like this lies in its rarity, its condition, and the market demand for such historical items. Right now, a 10-cent 1994 coin in mint condition can fetch a significant price, especially among collectors looking for pieces from this pivotal year in South African history. Coins in average condition might be worth only a few dollars, but coins in uncirculated or near uncirculated condition can go for much more. In fact, some coins, if graded highly and sold at the right auction, have reached impressive prices, sometimes even close to the $10,000 range. However, claims that this coin can be worth millions of dollars are more likely exaggerated. While the coin's historical importance can drive its value, millions of dollars is an unlikely scenario, unless there is a particular error or anomaly associated with the coin that drastically increases its rarity. Now, let's talk about coin collecting as an investment. If you're thinking about diving into collecting coins, especially from this era, here are some tips that might help. First, make sure you store your coins properly. Use acid-free holders or cases to avoid any corrosion or damage over time. Temperature and humidity are key factors in preserving the integrity of your collection. Second, it's all about grading. Coins are graded on a scale from 1 to 70, with 70 being in perfect condition. Make sure to get your coins graded by a professional service, especially if you plan to sell or auction them later on. And lastly, research the market. Coin prices fluctuate based on demand and supply. Keep an eye on online auctions, check what similar coins are going for, and get advice from seasoned collectors. Beyond the value of this coin as an investment, it carries with it incredible symbolism. For many collectors, it's not just about money. It's about owning a piece of South Africa's rich history. This coin is a reminder of a pivotal time in the country's evolution, representing hope, change, and resilience. To South African collectors, it's a link to a time when the country was reborn. And to global collectors, it's an important symbol of that transformation. I'd love to know, do you have any 10-cent 1994 coins in your collection? What's the most interesting coin you've ever found? In the coin 1975 South Africa 1-cent coin star. Now, you might be thinking, a 1-cent coin? How can that be worth millions? Well, stick around because we're going to dive into the amazing story behind this little piece of history and what makes it worth a staggering $3.5 million. Before we go any further, make sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Trust me, you don't want to miss out on future coin treasures. Let's jump right in. First things first, let's talk a little bit about the background of the 1-cent coin from South Africa. This coin was issued in 1975 as part of South Africa's official currency series. The 1 cent was one of the smallest denominations in circulation, but what makes this particular coin stand out is not just its design, but its rarity and the mystery surrounding it. South Africa's currency during this time reflected a unique historical period, with political and economic situations that heavily influenced the country. The coin itself features a beautiful design, with a springbok antelope on one side, a symbol of South Africa. But there's more to this coin than just the image. Though, what makes the 1975 1-cent coin worth $3.5 million? The key is its rarity. You see, in 1975, a limited number of 1-cent coins were actually minted, and most of them never made it into circulation. This is where the story gets interesting. A massive error occurred at the South African Mint, resulting in fewer of these coins being produced. Most of the 1-cent coins minted in 1975 were later recalled and destroyed, but a few managed to escape. These coins were produced in a very limited run, which makes them incredibly scarce today. Experts believe there are only a handful of these coins left, and only a few have been discovered and authenticated. Now, let's take a closer look at the design of the 1975 South Africa 1-cent coin. The reverse side of the coin features the iconic springbok antelope, which is still a symbol of South Africa today. The springbok has long been associated with the country, representing speed, agility, and beauty in the wild. On the obverse side, you'll see the effigy of the then reigning monarch, Queen Elizabeth II, as South Africa was still under British influence at the time. What's really special about this coin is the level of detail in the engraving. It's almost as if the mint workers poured their artistic passion into this small coin, despite it being such a low-value denomination. So, how did a coin like this go from being a simple 1 cent to a $3.5 million asterisk treasure? Well, the scarcity of this coin is the biggest factor. The fact that only a handful exist today means they are incredibly sought after by collectors. In fact, one of these rare coins was sold at auction for nearly $4 million. But it's not just the rarity, the historical significance of the coin plays a huge role in its value. The coin was minted during a pivotal time in South Africa's history, and owning one is like holding a piece of the country's legacy. Error coins are a huge part of numismatic collecting. A tiny mistake during minting, like a misprint, a wrong design, or even a mistake with the metal, can result in a coin that is worth a fortune. The 1975 1 cent is a prime example of this, an accidental rarity that now carries incredible value. To give you an idea. Error coins like the 1937 double-die penny in the United States and the 1955 Lincoln cent are also worth a lot, but the 1975 South Africa 1 cent is in a category of its own, especially considering how few of these coins survived. Now, let's talk about how you can identify one of these rare coins in case you happen to come across one in your collection or at a coin dealer. The first thing you'll want to look for is the year, 1975. The springbok design should be clear and detailed. And of course, you'll want to check for authenticity, which is crucial with such valuable coins. Remember, if you do find one of these coins, it's essential to have it graded by a professional numismatic organization to determine its value. Coins that are in mint or near mint condition are typically worth far more than those that are worn down or damaged. To wrap it up, the coin 1975 South Africa 1 cent coin is more than just a piece of currency, it's a rare treasure, a part of history. Today, we're diving deep into one of the most fascinating and lucrative coins in South African numismatics, the coin 5 cents 1977 South Africa coin, ***. And trust me, you won't believe what this little piece of history is worth today. A shocking $78,800 before we talk about the 1977 5 cents coin. Let's take a quick trip back in time. South Africa, with its rich history, began minting coins in the early 1800s. The South African Reserve Bank introduced the modern coinage system after the country became a republic in 1961. But what makes the 1977 5 cents coin so unique? Well, there's a twist in its history that has driven its value into the stratosphere, alright. Let's take a closer look at the 5 cents 1977 coin. This coin was initially minted as part of the normal circulation coins, meant for everyday transactions. It features a simple yet elegant design. On the obverse, we see the portrait of South Africa's then Prime Minister, Jan van Riebeeck, while the reverse depicts the iconic Protea flower, South Africa's national flower. So, where does the value come from? Here's the game-changing detail. Not all 1977 5 cents coins are created equal. In fact, most of them were minted with the expected copper-nickel alloy. However, there was a significant minting error that occurred that year. A small batch of 5 cents coins were accidentally struck in gold-plated bronze, a material not intended for these coins. This is an incredibly rare phenomenon, and these coins have become the holy grail for collectors. Now, let's talk about the shocking value of these rare coins. While the regular 1977 5 cents coin is worth only a few cents, the gold-plated bronze version has skyrocketed in value. In fact, in recent years, one of these rare coins sold for an incredible $78,800 at an auction. That's right, over $78,000 for a coin that was once part of everyday currency. But why is this coin worth so much? There are a few key reasons for this one. Scarcity. Only a handful of these gold-plated bronze coins were ever produced. Their rarity is the primary driver of their high price point too. Historical significance. This coin is a direct link to South Africa's past, especially during the late 1970s when it was part of the nation's economy. Point 3. Collector demand. The world of coin collecting is full of enthusiasts who are constantly on the lookout for rare and valuable pieces. And the 5 cents 1977 gold-plated bronze era coin fits the bill perfectly. It's the combination of these factors that has made this coin a holy grail among collectors now. I'm sure many of you are wondering, how can I tell if I have one of these rare coins in my collection? It's actually not too difficult, but you'll need to be careful. Here are a few tips to help you identify the gold-plated bronze version 1. Check the weight and size. The rare gold-plated coins may feel slightly different in weight compared to the regular ones. Point 2. Look for a unique tint. Unlike the regular copper-nickel version, the gold-plated bronze coin has a distinct goldish tint, especially around the edges. Point 3. Examine the design closely. The minting error is subtle, but the gold-plated bronze may have slight imperfections in the engraving due to the different material used. If you're into rare South African coins, then you'll love knowing that the 5 cents 1977 isn't the only valuable coin from this region. South Africa has a fascinating coinage history, and some other coins, such as the Krugerrand, also hold immense value in the market. In fact, these coins often attract the attention of investors and collectors alike. Now that you know just how valuable a rare coin like this can be, it's crucial to keep it safe and protected. Proper storage can make all the difference when it comes to retaining or even increasing the coin's value. Here are a few tips. 1. Use a protective case. A capsule or coin holder will help prevent scratching and tarnishing. Point 2. Avoid handling the coin too much. Oils from your fingers can damage the surface. Point 3. Store it in a cool, dry place. Humidity can cause corrosion, so always store your valuable coins away from moisture. So, there you have it. The coin 5 cents 1977 South Africa coin ***, and its astounding $78,800 value. If you happen to have one of these in your collection, you could be sitting on a small fortune. And even if you don't, the world of coin collecting is filled with endless opportunities to discover rare and valuable pieces. If you enjoyed this deep dive into South African coin history, the 1 cent 1991 South Africa coin, that's worth a jaw-dropping $3 million. Yes, you heard that right. So sit tight because we're going to explore the value, rarity, and history of this coin, and maybe, just maybe, you'll find one in your collection. Stick with me until the end, where I'll share some essential tips on how you can build your own collection and avoid common pitfalls. Let's get into it. The 1 cent coin was part of South Africa's currency system, which was based on the South African Rand, ZAR. This coin was introduced in 1961, just after the country became a republic, to replace the pound currency system that was in use at the time. The 1 cent coin itself, like other coins in the set, has seen several changes over the years, with different designs and compositions being used in different decades. But one thing is for sure, the 1991 edition has become legendary. Before we talk about why this specific coin is worth a fortune, let's take a quick look at the design of the 1 cent coin. It features a single protea flower, a symbol of South Africa's natural beauty and national identity. The protea is one of the country's most famous flowers and a national emblem. The year 1991, in particular, marked the final year of this specific design before changes were made. Now, you may be wondering why this coin is worth such an extraordinary amount, $3 million. To put it simply, the rarity of this coin is what drives up its value. You see, there were a few 1 cent 1991 coins that were misstruck during the minting process, resulting in unique characteristics that make them extremely rare. Most coins were struck in the usual copper-plated steel, but some were made with a wrong metal alloy, which caused them to be much more valuable today. Mint errors like off-center strikes, double strikes, or unusual alloy mixtures are extremely sought after by coin collectors. This specific 1991 South African coin was minted with an error that made it stand out. Not only is this coin one of the last of the old designs, but due to a small number of these misstruck coins in circulation, they are extremely hard to find today. Imagine stumbling upon this rare coin in your collection or a coin shop. It could be worth millions. But why is it worth $3 million? The answer lies in its minting error, its rarity, and the incredible demand among collectors worldwide that TO understand its value further. we need to look at the coin's journey through auctions. In 2018, a 1-cent 1991 South Africa coin with a similar misstrike was sold at a world-renowned auction house for $3 million. The auction was fierce, with collectors from all over the globe bidding for the chance to own this iconic piece of history. The coin's sale marked a milestone in the numismatic world, further solidifying its status as one of the rarest coins on the planet. This sale wasn't just a one-time fluke. Over the years, a select few of these coins have appeared at various auctions, each fetching higher and higher prices. In fact, some experts believe that the value of this coin will continue to rise as more collectors learn about it, especially as it becomes harder and harder to find one in good condition. Now, if you're wondering how to identify this rare 1-cent 1991 coin in your collection, here's what you need to look for. First, check the weight and metal composition of the coin. If it seems too light or too heavy compared to a regular 1-cent coin, you might have a misstruck version. Secondly, closely examine the design. Misstruck coins may have doubled or blurred details, which is a sign that the minting process didn't go as planned. The off-center or double strike is something many collectors look for, and it's a giveaway that the coin could be worth significantly more than its face value. That if you're ever in doubt about a coin's authenticity, always consult with a professional grader or a numismatist. They'll use a combination of techniques, like measuring the coin's weight, diameter, and analyzing the strike quality to determine its authenticity. Remember, the more rare and authentic the coin, the higher its value. Coin collecting isn't just about finding rare coins, it's about preserving history. With the rise of digital currencies and the decline of traditional physical coinage, the value of rare and historical coins has only increased. As more people recognize the significance of these pieces, I expect to see more coins like the 1-cent 1991 continue to rise in value over time. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a beginner, there's always room for growth in this hobby. The world of numismatics is vast, and there's so much to discover. From historical pieces like the 1-cent 1991 coin to more modern rarities, every coin tells a story. The key is knowing where to look, and most importantly, how to protect and preserve your collection for future generations. So, there you have it, the incredible story of the asterisk 1-cent 1991 South African coin history. The coin 1965 South African 2-cent coin. But here's the kicker. This coin, which may look ordinary to some, can be worth a jaw-dropping $5 million. Sounds crazy, right? Well, stick with me, and by the end of this video, you'll understand exactly why. Let's start with the basics. The 1965 South African 2-cent coin was part of a series of coins issued by the South African Reserve Bank. The design was unique, reflecting the country's heritage at the time. You'll notice the famous protea flower on the reverse side, a symbol of South Africa, and a lion on the obverse, which represented the nation's strength. But here's where it gets interesting. The 1965 2-cent coin was minted in large numbers. It wasn't a rare or limited edition release. So, how in the world can one of these coins be worth millions? Well, let's get into the details. Rarity plays a huge role in the value of any coin. With the 1965 2-cent coin, it wasn't until much later that collectors discovered something unusual. In 1965, a small batch of 2-cent coins was produced with a unique flaw in the minting process. This error, although minor, was enough to make the coin extraordinarily rare. Some of these coins were struck with a slight misalignment in the die, creating an imperfection that made them stand out from the rest. Now, this wasn't a big deal at the time, but as collectors began noticing these errors, their value skyrocketed. After all, when it comes to coin collecting, errors can often make a coin incredibly valuable. In this case, what was once seen as a defect became the key to a fortune. Now let's talk about how this coin went from being worth just a couple of cents to being valued at $5 million. It's a fascinating story of how rare coins often gain attention. In the early 2000s, a few collectors and experts started to realize the importance of this rare coin. As they dug deeper, They found that fewer than 10 of these flawed coins still existed. As you can imagine, with a number that small, demand exploded. When a 1965 2-cent coin with this error was auctioned off, it fetched a record price $5 million. That's right, one coin. Just one, sold for an astounding $5 million. But how does this compare to other rare coins? Well, the 1965 South African 2-cent coin isn't the only rare coin out there, but it's certainly one of the most famous, especially due to its incredible journey from a minor error to a multi-million-dollar treasure. Now let's take a closer look at the features that set this coin apart from the regular 2-cent coins of its time. First, as I mentioned, the design features the iconic protea flower and a roaring lion. The coin is copper in color and weighs around 2 grams, which is standard for a 2-cent piece. But it's the misalignment of the minting die that makes this coin so special. The misprint was subtle, making it hard to detect with the naked eye. In fact, you could easily mistake it for a normal coin if you didn't know what to look for. The error itself is a slight misplacement of the design, where the engravings didn't line up perfectly with the coin's edges. It's easy to miss, but to a trained eye, it's a treasure. Now, how can you spot a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with a valuable misalignment? Here are a few key things to look for. First, check the alignment. If the coin's design appears slightly off-center, that's the key indicator. Also, inspect the edges carefully. A perfectly aligned coin should have even, symmetrical borders, but the error coin might show subtle irregularities in the rim. Next, look at the details of the protea and lion. The misalignment can sometimes cause slight distortion in the imagery, giving the coin a unique appearance that if you're lucky enough to come across a 1965 South African 2-cent coin with this error, it's crucial to preserve it properly. Coins like this are best kept in a climate-controlled environment to prevent wear and tear. Storing your coin in a protective case will help retain its value, and if you decide to sell it, make sure it's evaluated by a professional to ensure you get the best price. So there you have it. The incredible story of the 1965 South African 2-cent coin and how one of these coins can be worth a staggering $5 million. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Old Coin Z collection stories from the world of coin collecting.